Hey Divas and Biz, this is Shay, your Love Diva, coming to you live with a video on the situation going on between Shanel Cooper Sykes and her ex-husband. I believe his name is David or Brian. I can't keep up, but I wanted to discuss it, and I went back and forth for several days because I really like Shanel. I like her message. I like her energy, and I debated if I should say anything because it's my hope to work with her in the future, and I did not want my words to be misunderstood as judgment or negativity, but I felt it was important to speak on it since it's public. Their dispute is public, and because there are so many people who are supporting what they are doing publicly. And there are so many people who are going through nasty divorces in pain, and they're lashing out, and they are miscreating, and they think that's right, and they do it in the name of defending themselves or creating boundaries, and all of it is a bunch of hot mess. So check this out. I'm going to give you my 2 cents, all right? And you can take it or leave it. But just know that I am coming humbly with so much love. Now, Shanel, yes, I do believe that you were abused emotionally, probably physically. I do believe that he is a manipulator. And the reason why I believe that is because I have a PhD in narcissists and in abusers and manipulators. First, I grew up with one. My father was a master abuser and manipulator. You guys bear with me because I'm gonna raise this a little higher. And I know my camera, my editor, he's gonna want to kill me. He's gonna be like, "You should have been ready." All right, so forgive me. But anyway, so my father was a narcissist and and very abusive. And then I married an abuser. Thought I was marrying him. He happened to already be married. And then he would use his money to manipulate, control, and abuse. My kids are getting ready to walk in the door, so y'all give me a minute while I tell them to come in quietly. You guys, I'm doing a video, please. Thank you. All right, so he would manipulate and abuse, and he would use his money as a form of control, and he would throw that in my face all the time that he was, you're well taken care of, like I'm taking care of you, I'm paying the bills, and yada, yada, yada. So the part that really alerted me was when Shanel's ex-husband said in the video, she's been well taken care of for all of these years. She, first class and got this and got that and all this other stuff. And so stick a pin in that, right? So it's clear that he doesn't realize that he's a narcissist and very controlling, and that he used it to manipulate and control her. I strongly believe that, and I will go back to the evidence. However, comma space, with all of that, with me being absolutely confident that this man mistreated her in the marriage. Because just so for you guys that don't know what's going on, Shanel was married for 3 years, in a relationship for 6, it looks like, with another very popular online person. He's really big in network marketing, and he makes $1 million a month and does really well for himself. Great with the black eye magic. That's awesome. And then they got together, and then he helped her to be able to build her business in order for her to become the success that she is, which is awesome because Shanel's awesome. And I know she's helped a lot of women and people to be able to see and open their minds to a different way of being. So, and then we're aligned in a lot of things that we say anyway. So I highly respect her and her message. And it appears that after being married for a short period of time, that her ex-husband, David O'Brien, it's not worth me remembering at this point, uh, that he cheated on her. And of course that hurt Shanel, but she wanted her marriage to work, and she did everything she could to try to get it to work. And but her ex-husband did not want the marriage. And he ended up filing for divorce. And after multiple attempts to try to work on the marriage, they went through with the divorce and came up with this agreement, an agreement at the last minute that Shanel was like, no, this is not going to work for me. And then went to court and then lost her appeal to get the monthly support for a year adjusted. Now, here's the thing. Shanel did a video addressing around it what happened. And she was basically, doing a video saying, where's my money? He hasn't paid me. He owes me $100,000 and he hasn't paid me and he needs to pay me. And this is me saying my truth. And this is me standing up for myself and yada, yada. And then he did a response video that said a whole lot of nothing and everything at the same time. And it's gotten really messy. Like, the whole thing got really, really messy. And I posted a message to Shanel in love. And I said, I get it. I understand your pain. I've been divorced 1.3 times. So I understand what you're going through, especially when you really want your marriage to work. You don't want a divorce. And you're a public figure. So you have that stigma, right? That you have more pressure to make your situation work than regular people. You really do. So I get it. I get the pain. Also, when somebody is making you feel like you have to keep proving to them why you're worthy and good enough, then when they completely reject you and there's nothing you can do to wheel them back in, it can be a devastating thing because rejection breeds obsession. And even worse than that, manipulation breeds domination. And you can feel her pain in her video when she's like, David, I've been patient and I've been loving and supportive and I'm not going to cover you anymore and where's my money and all this other stuff. You can feel her pain. You can see her anger. You can see this tiger that has been forced to lay down rising up. However, this is not the way to do it, baby. This is not the way to do it. The energy of the video was heavy. It was low vibrationally. It did not inspire, I'm going to stand up for myself, hear me roar, and I'm going to create boundaries, hear me roar. There was nothing about that creating boundaries because just because you are publicly posting a message to your ex about paying you does not set a boundary. It doesn't make them do what you want them to do because he still hasn't paid you your money. What it does, though, is that it allows for a lot of energies and opinions to come into your situation, for one. And that's what's happened. And then for two, it sets the vibration of pain out on a large scale. So now you got all of that vibrating back. You got people with their different opinions and arguing with each other on what's right and what's wrong. And you have all of that. And you're basically communicating with him when you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to. Because one thing with the narcissist, you will never be right. Period. Point blank. And you don't fight them on the same plane energetically that they are on. You got to rise higher than that. And that's what I was saying in my message. And so what you do is if you want to take him to court and ride that mess out and you do whatever you got to do, get the best attorneys to send the letters and do what they need to do so you can get your money and plus interest. And then you do what you need to do to appeal to get more, then by all means. And then once you've given yourself breath and space to heal, once you do that, now you're in that space where you can come with a higher vibration to help to educate and empower other women to set boundaries, not after the fact, but before the fact, and giving them the signs of what it looks like when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, what it looks like when you're so caught up into somebody that when they don't want you, stop yourself from begging them to stay with you. When they cheat on you, then love yourself enough to say, hey, wait a minute. I don't deserve this. Negro, I don't care how much money that you have in the bank and you're supplying. I'm going to do everything I can to get what is owed to me, and I'm going to keep it moving. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to cheat on me and then have me be the one motivated to make this marriage work. That's not what's going to happen. And then now you're standing on your power. You're standing on your power because you won't allow outside opinions. You won't allow the divorce or the end of a situation with somebody who does not want you to reflect on you and create shame. Shame, which is a low vibration that isn't even real and not deserved by you. You won't even do that. So when you're going through this and you heal, you can come from that space to educate people. You can write your book, you can do your talks, and then you can inspire women to open their eyes and see themselves in their situation and see who and whose they are. You can allow them to feel their power and stand on their power by learning from your experience that has happened for a reason, that happened for a season, and that happened for a blessing. Because there is a blessing in all of this. But by publicly calling each other names and going back and forth and discussing about the Bentley truck and the $50,000 a month and all of this, that isn't standing up for yourself. I don't see and feel as a listener who's being honest with you, because clearly the team around you is not giving you honest information. They're not saying, hey, you're in your pain right now. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give me your phone. You know, give me your phone. Wait, that voice? No, don't shut it down. Nobody's asking you to shut it down, especially me. Don't shut that voice down. Do some videos to yourself so you can be able to look back at it and feel if it feels right. Does it flow within you? And if it does, then later on, once you're feeling whole about the situation, because it's fresh, like the divorce just happened in December. On average, it takes a year to be able to heal from a divorce. They say divorce is like experiencing the death of a significant other. That's what they've compared it to. Like on the stress level, that's how severe it is. You guys who are listening to me live, please let me know what you think. What do you think about the whole situation? Are you familiar with Shanel Cooper Sykes? Are you familiar with her marriage to her husband, Brian David, whatever his name is? Somebody post what his name is. What is the man's name? Help me out, please. Post his name. Tell me, what do you think? Do you think that it was empowering for her to post the video and then empowering for him to post a video warning people that she was going to come out and say that he's gay? Now, that is the part that blew me away, because I'm like, So it wasn't what he said necessarily, even though I felt like, yeah, I respect her, but it's messy. His name is David. Thank you so much. I so appreciate that. His name is David. It wasn't Immonite. Oh, okay. Am I saying it right? Immonite? David Immonite? Okay. So it wasn't what he was saying, is the way he said it, because when he said, she's going to come out and say that I'm gay, did you notice his body movement? Did you know? I said, oh, shoot. First of all, this is what got me about his video that really bothered me. He said, I am a man and I fall short. I admit and own that I cheated on my wife and I should not have done that. But now, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me hit this. Like, where did they do that at? Please tell me, on what planet do you say but after taking accountability for yourself? Because once you say but, you done erased everything you said before then. And second of all, I'm sick and tired of men of God and men of the church doing things and then justifying and hiding behind the cloth and behind God, saying, I'm a man of God and I fall short, and all of this other crap that they think is going to erase the behavior. How in the world did you cheat on your wife? And it sounds like it was more than one time. Were you at the grocery store and was there an oil spill? And did you just forget to put your pants on and then you slip and fell into some vagina? Or Was there an explosion and then you popped up in the air and then landed on somebody? Like, I just want to understand as a man of God, how does that happen? And it's not enough. It's not enough to say, I'm a man of God, I fall short, and then run your ex-wife's name through the mud. Because if you're a man of God, then that should have been reflected in your video. And it wasn't either, David. It wasn't in your video either. Like, your video was low vibrationally, and your video reflected a man who wanted to hurt the woman you already hurt. And then you wanted to act like you felt sorry for her when she lost her case and all of this. Like, we didn't need to know all of that stuff. Like, even if she said what she said about you owing the money, you could have easily came on and said, you know what, you guys, let me just do this. There's been a lot of things that's been flying around about me, and I'm going through a messy divorce that is really painful to the both of us. And I did some things that I'm not proud of at all. Matter of fact, I cheated on my wife. And cheating is never justified, period, point blank. And it is too many of us men who are violating our vows and promise and commitment to God and our wife. And I am going to encourage you today to make a decision to not do that. And I'm going to vow today to never do that again. Because I did that, I could no longer feel the connection to my wife. And instead of being man enough to do the work to fix the marriage and the covenant that I created between God, I decided to dip out and run on the marriage within less than 3 years of the marriage. Yes, I was a punk. Yes, I am weak. And I have committed to go and sit down somewhere, go on a spiritual retreat, and do the things I need to do so I can figure out what in me created this situation. That's what I'm going to do. I am not even going to hide behind God, because God had nothing to do with this whatsoever. I made a choice, and we all are responsible for our choices. So right now, I'm going to say, Classy. Thank you, Classy. So right now, I'm going to say to my beautiful, dynamic, smart ex-wife who is probably really upset with me right now, I am sorry. End of the video. That's what a man of God would have did. No matter what she was saying or doing. You didn't have to tell your whole story, because if it's all lies, then ignore it. Like, if somebody calls you Mickey Mouse, do you need to respond? No, you don't. You can simply ignore it. You can keep it moving. But you chose to reveal all of this stuff and get all your digs in as much as possible. Throw all the trash in the middle of a burning fire. A woman who's on fire because of behaviors that were incited by you. Now, I'm sure, because Shanel's smart, so I'm sure she's going to learn from this experience, and she's going to recognize the signs early on when a man is not that into you. She's going to recognize the signs early on to determine within her what's motivating her to choose a relationship. Because sometimes, ladies, we will choose a relationship not because God said that is the person for us, and not because it is the right situation for us. We will choose a situation out of desperation. We will choose a situation out of our pain. We will choose a situation because we are, CJ, please go to your sister and be quiet. Mommy's doing a video. So we would choose a situation based on lack that we feel is in our life. And nobody is exempt from that. Everybody can end up doing that. But it's important that we can get in the habit and stop and say, God, what is your will? Like, even though I want the situation so bad, and even though if it goes, I will be so hurt, in the midst of my tears, I ask you, have your will. Have your will. Have your will. If it's not meant to be, let it not be. If it is meant to be, then let it be, and let it be clear to me. Because I guarantee you, if she or any of the other women who have stepped in crud by getting with and trying to stick with the wrong person, including myself, if any of them had did that, then they would not have stayed in that situation. They would have been able to dodge the bullet before the bullet hit them. So I hope we can all take this as a learning experience. I am praying light and love to Shanel and to the situation. I even pray healing to David and forgiveness to David, because David, I don't know who's around you. I don't know your mom and who raised you. However, it is clear to me that there's a lot of work that you need to do. It is clear to me that you need to stay by yourself until you figure out who you are and what is it that you want and what kind of man you're willing to be to show up. And that you get this part of yourself together before you try to lead anybody else in their lives. Because your video and your actions during this messy time, which divorce can be messy, it doesn't have to be. There can be a conscious uncoupling. There can be a decision that no matter what happened, no matter what the situation of hurt is, that there is a connecting to higher spirit in releasing the situation. That could happen. That could have happened. I mean, you guys had enough money to seek that level of counseling, but you didn't, and that's neither here nor there. It could have been better than this, and no matter what she said, you could have been better than this. And in the marriage, it is clear that she felt controlled and manipulated and dominated. And it is clear in your words when you threw out the whole "I took care of her" that was the case. Because really, that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Even though you're going to say, well, I was trying to prove to you guys and share how I put all this money into her business. And I was trying to show and prove to you that I already had my business and built it up for all these years, sleeping in my car and everything else. But you and I both know the power of a woman standing behind you and supporting you can do miracles. It can literally turn you from a zero to a hero overnight. So you might have been working for 12 years, but your income might have significantly increased over the last 6 years when you were with her encouraging you and staying home. Hey, can you stop with the ice, please? Thank you so much. You guys forgive me. You know, when you have kids, they don't care. They don't care about you working. So you could have just recognized that regardless of how she was responding, that there was some responsibility that you needed to take and walk away from the fight. You don't have to always show up to every fight you're invited to, but you did not. And it felt like through the screen that you was trying to hurt her, manipulate, control, suppress her again. And the part about you being gay, that's neither here nor there. Sorry, you guys, got a phone call. The part about you being gay, you didn't even have to respond to that. You don't, because when you're famous people get accused of things. Matter of fact, Eddie Murphy has been called gay for years, and he has never addressed it. So whether he's gay or not, nobody really cares much, because it's like, well, he's married, he has kids, he's moving on with his life. He is too high up to address something like that, so he doesn't even go there, and you didn't have to either. But anyway, I hope the best for both of you guys, and that both of you guys hear my words, and from spirit to spirit, that you feel me, and that you can kind of clean this up and use it to empower instead of dropping you guys all the way down at the ground. This has been Shay, your Love Diva, and I hope we all learn from this situation. And if you like this video, check like, pass all your family and friends. You know, I believe coaches need coaches, and I'm here. I'm here for you, Shanel, if you want to call me. I am open. My heart is here for you. My heart goes out for you, and I want the best for you. and all ladies who are being controlled and manipulated and who are in relationships with a narcissist. I hope that you hear me. This has been Shay, your Love Diva. Check, like, and pass to all your family and friends. Bye, divas, and booze.